OK, let's get on with the quiz. Our first round is all about history, a round that encompasses everything that's ever happened, ever. This could take a while. In 1936, Edward VIII abdicated from the throne. It was the royal scandal of the century. The only way it could have been worse is if he tried to cover it up by claiming he couldn't sweat. William Wallace led the Scottish resistance in the War of Independence. After his trial, he was stripped naked, dragged through the streets by a horse, hung, cut down while still alive, castrated, disemboweled, had his guts burnt in front of him, then beheaded, quartered, and had his head dipped in tar and stuck on a pike. His final words were, "I get it, you're upset." In a world that's so full of anxiety, violence and misery, I truly believe that music is the one thing we can all use to drown out the screams of people we don't care about. Andrew Lloyd Webber is a hugely successful composer famous for writing about flamboyant fictional characters like Phantom of the Opera, Mr. Mistopheles and Jesus Christ. In previous centuries, male opera singers were castrated in order to be able to hit the high notes. I think we can all agree that that's barbaric and no opera singer should ever have to go through that again, except maybe the guy from the Go Compare ad. The next round is all about film and television, and if there are any younger viewers watching, television was sort of like a longer version of a TikTok video. The film Flashdance has a great message for our times. Just because you're following your dreams of being a dancer, it doesn't mean you can't retrain as a welder. The school-based drama Grange Hill was set in a more innocent time, and we never missed an episode. It didn't matter what was happening, sniffing glue from a carrier bag, finding porn mags in a hedge, or getting finger-blasted behind some bins. When the time came, you stopped what you were doing, rushed home, and watched Grange Hill. Welcome back to the Big Fat Quiz of everything. Our next round is all about science and technology. Puffing Billy is the name of the world's oldest surviving locomotive. It travelled at 5 miles per hour and is still being used today by Southern Rail. The first contraceptive pill was made by synthesising hormones from yams, because, of course, you can't get a yam pregnant, and I should know. It wasn't until a year after we landed on the moon that American Bernard Sardo patented the first wheeled suitcase. And it's revolutionised the way Saudi Arabian agents remove the dismembered bodies of dissident journalists from embassies in Turkey. Next round is all about sports and games. Snakes and Ladders is an ancient Indian board game that's still played around the world today by children who can't afford an Xbox. The origins of sumo wrestling date back 2,000 years to when the first Greggs was opened in Japan. Dungeons and Dragons hit the shelves in 1974. Say what you like about the people who played Dungeons and Dragons. Seriously, say what you like. What are those nerds going to do? The next round is all about culture and fashion. So, viewers in Middlesbrough, you might want to go and make yourself a cup of tea or something. The Eiffel Tower was erected in 1889 to distract tourists whilst having their pockets picked. For centuries, high heels were an essential accessory for men needed for horse riding to secure their stance in their stirrups. At least that's what they told their wives when they were caught playing dress-up. One of Gianni Versace's most famous creations was a black dress held together with safety pins worn by Elizabeth Hurley in 1994. It was great for both of them. It made her famous, and he didn't have to do any sewing. Welcome back to the Big Fat Quiz of everything. Our last round is potluck. Like a service station pasty, it's got a little bit of everything in it. The phrase peeping Tom means voyeur comes from a Tom who spied on Lady Godiva as she rode naked through Coventry. To be fair to Tom, though, she sounds like something of an exhibitionist, and there's never been a lot to do in Coventry. Victorians didn't smile in photographs, and who can blame them? They had a life expectancy of 22, they slept 12 to a bed in slums, and their hobbies were infant mortality, gangrene and racism. What did they have to smile about?
My girlfriend said she wanted me to tease her. I said, all right, fatty.